Open it up.
Open it up, baby.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers. Shout out High Noon, Hard Seltzers. If you want to sponsor the show, feel free.
Episode 8.
That we're trying to make money here on Call One Conversations because we're making you money with these bets. That's why you clicked here. It's another episode of Cold One Conversations. I'm Brendan Petrilli. My boy Harry Heaps is hitting at what, 70-something% hair?
75% on the season, 85% on the locks. That's right. You heard it here first. Brown bag cash coming to you live.
Got to put it in the Eagles Cup here because we're ready to rock and roll. We're here to recap all the games of last week, talk about how we made you some money, how I went 3-3, so we broke even. It's all right. We've been
all you can ask for.
We've been, floating around that 55% mark all season. Looking to bounce back. Had a good week before that, 5-1, but we're rocking and rolling because guess what, Harry? Quick Philly update. We got to get into it here. Philadelphia is on top of the sports world. Everybody wants to be a Philadelphia sports fan. You want to be a Philadelphia sports fan. You know that.
I do. There's not a shadow of a doubt in my mind that everybody right now wants to be a Philly fan because everybody wants to be able to go like this to everybody else and say, we're still damn winning. 100%.
Yeah, exactly. And the Fightin' Phils, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. I got my little World Series pendant here. I got a couple hats, some shirts, NL champs. We're taking on the Houston Astros in the World Series this upcoming week. I'm absolutely stoked. I am stoked. But this isn't a whole Philly podcast. If you want that, go to the BSB podcast, my personal one. I do quick trillion 10s, 10 to 15 minutes. I give you everything that you want. All the jacked up Philadelphia scumbag energy all in one podcast. So go subscribe to that too. The link will be in the description for that. But you're here to make money. You're here for NFL.
That's right.
And that's what we're doing. Maybe we'll get into some NBA as it rolls along here. That's the only thing that's not coming up roses for the Philadelphia right now. But
not as bad as
Philadelphia Eagles have turned it around and they brought in Robert Quinn, and we will get to that in a little bit also. But Harry, what's going on, dude? What's going on? That was the update in Philly sports.
That's the update of Philly sports. Well, before we hit NFL, man, we didn't even talk about this in the pre-show, but you know what I thought about? I was thinking about this yesterday that I wanted to bring this up, but it's hitting me now. Truly, I predicted this and we talked about this and we got to bring it up now, man. I mean, I said, week 3, our third episode, I go, you watch and see the New York Yankees are once again going to fail all their fan base. They're going to fail everybody. And what happens, year after year, now they finally make it right to their conference championship and they lose. Swept.
Not even lose.
You got the whole fan base screaming, sell the team. It's all over the internet. It's all over Barstool, dude. I mean, what is our takeaway here of the most famed franchise in arguably in all of sports? The most famed franchise.
They're just another team now.
They're just another team, dude.
The pinstripes don't mean anything. The Phillies got the better pinstripes.
Is Judge leaving? Is Judge leaving?
Probably. Oh, dude. For them to come out and boo him in those last couple games.
Yeah.
The guy's about to walk. You got to baby him. Oh, Judge, it's okay. We'll get him next year. Yep. Be the little crybabies that you are. Come back to us. To boo him?
He's going down the
street. I'm not going to feel bad when he leaves.
He's going down the street. He's going to go down the street.
I don't see that. That would suck.
Dude, they will, half the city will hate him, but the other half will love him. It's already that way now. He'll just be trading sides. And that side's got deep pockets, dude.
I saw San Fran is going to make a hard push is what I was seeing. That they're not going to take no for an answer, supposedly. So we'll see if he goes out west, but I don't know. I think he likes it in New York.
I do too. I do too. That's my point. And where I'll just leave it at is, listen, at the end of the day, I said it once. I'll say it again. I've been saying it for 2 years on the radio with Trilly, and now we're here. You're listening to Cold One's Conversations, and this is the only sports information talk you need. Okay, we're betting, you're making money, we're opinionated, and we're right, and we don't fact check, so you have to worry about anything. It's just all opinion. But the point being is that this opinion was right. This opinion turned out to be fact. The New York Yankees can't deliver. They can't bring home what they should be bringing home. I thought that this thing was so funny, dude, when I was watching KFC radio about what's his name, the Yanks head coach showing them.
Oh yeah,
showing them the Red Sox beating them.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, what is that?
And then he had Big Poppy FaceTime to try to get the boy.
What? But to get swept, dude. I mean, you didn't just not like lose. You couldn't do anything, dude. I mean, yes, you scored 3 bats in a row in that last game in game 4, but then you let it go.
Right away.
What happened to your pitching?
Literally right away.
Right away. I mean, I don't know. Listen, this isn't an MLB podcast. This is a money-making podcast. So I'm done talking about that. I'm just here to say that I'm right.
Well, we're making money. Right. You're betting Bryce Harper to win the World Series MVP. That's how you're getting money.
All right. Go check out BSP. Enough of that noise.
Dude, well, real quick. Bryce Harper's home run, dude. Give me that.
He's tremendous right now, dude.
That home run was ridiculous. For him to step up down a run, runner gets on, and just to grind that at bat, change ups low and away, spits on it. I don't want that. Fastball outside, Oppo Boppo, 10 rows deep.
It doesn't matter. It's out of the park.
You
He's
knew it
taking the bases. They're winning a series.
All right.
Now it's time to recap Week 7. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here so much. We're at Week 8. We're going all week long. Playoffs, Super Bowl. We're building a show here. Subscribe. Get those views up. We need you. We want you. Share it. Trilly, let's open it up. You know, I thought that we would open with my team first since your team had a bye. I don't want to go there. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Let's talk about the bet that we told our viewers to hammer. The week before, it was the Cincy game. It hit. We both took it. This week, we both take Green Bay, and they fuck us. They lose 21-23. We both take them -4.5. He goes on the road to Washington. I said clearly on the show, this is the time for Aaron to show up. He comes off of 2 bad losses. He's not going to do it today against the Commanders. It won't happen. And what happens the whole time? He's leading. It's 14, he's leading, and then it's 14-10, and then it's 14-10, and then it's 14-10. And then out of nowhere, it was Jones that made that insane touchdown. I believe it was. Yeah. It was just an absolutely magic pass. But Heineke's able to keep that lead, dude. Heineke's going great. His ball control's ridiculous.
He was the one guy that I was like, maybe you get that Heineke magic because the guy is a baller. It's a big difference. If Carson Wentz is in that game, the Commanders lose. They don't have a shot.
And the teammates know that. I mean, the announcers even brought that up. There was a change in they said, and I quote, there's a change in the locker room when they knew Heineke would be playing today. And so what I have to say is I brought this up last week before we announced the Christian McCaffrey trade. What are we seeing with Aaron right now? Because him and the GOAT look like that they can't keep up right now. We're seeing an Aaron that doesn't look committed. We're seeing an Aaron who he's not even angry. It's like he doesn't give a shit. He walks off there, and I don't see him, like I said, week 1. When Tom loses, he breaks the iPad. When Aaron loses, he rolls his eyes. He looks like he's complaining. And that's all I'm seeing. I'm not seeing tenacity going out there that you're on a 3-0 losing streak, dude. You're the back-to-back MVP. You just lost to a team that hasn't had their life together for how many years? And you lose on the road. You're below 500 now, dude. I mean, what is going on in Green Bay?
Yeah, I feel like it's the same thing over and over every week, and they just still haven't figured it out. They aren't subscribed to the podcast, because
run the ball.
Run the ball. Aaron just can't throw it right now.
No.
Now, I mean, I listen to his Tuesdays with McAfee all the time, and he just keeps saying, "Yeah, we got to find ways to get the ball in Aaron Jones and Dylan's hands." He keeps saying that. Is it him Is it him audibling? Is it the coaches not putting plays in? What's the deal there? Is he pissed off at LaFleur again? I don't know, because obviously you can't throw the football right now with the weapons that they have. You got a couple old guys that he used to play with that are just past their prime, and a bunch of young guys that just aren't ready for the moment. Now, I'm going to keep holding on just because of Aaron Rodgers' talent.
You have to.
But you would have thought by now he would have won one of these games, a 3-game losing streak. I mean, I think this is the 3rd time in his career that it's ever happened to him. So you would have thought just his talent alone would have carried this team. It should have carried this team past the Washington Commanders, but he came up short once again. Dude, it's just astounding.
He's losing to teams. I mean, you and I 2 years ago on WQSU on the radio live, would we have ever said Aaron's going to take a loss to the New York Giants, then he's going to take a loss to the New York Jets, and then he's going to take a loss to the Washington Commanders? I mean, I can't imagine.
The Commanders wasn't even their name.
It wasn't even their name. Thank you. I didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
But that's the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it's like, what is going on, man?
How much has changed over the past couple of years with that team? It's with his everything, his whole aura, his being, his competitiveness. It just doesn't, what you're saying, his competitive is not there right now. And that swagger, that discount double check, that cockiness.
I still own you. Where is that?
Yeah, it's not there.
And at the end of the day, what I think it comes down to, and then we're going to move on this team because we got other games to wrap on. So I'm gonna hit it with the final word. I think that we're officially seeing that Aaron is satisfied with one ring. Aaron is officially satisfied with knowing that he isn't in the GOAT conversation. He's in the all-time great conversation, but he's not in the run conversation. He knows that now, and you see it. And you see it for two reasons. And I have been saying this for as long as I've had a media source to say it. First thing that you see, he's the first person to get paid. He never takes a pay cut, and his pay only gets bigger. And now, his body language, he just doesn't care, dude. He's still getting paid. He's still getting $150 million a year. He's going to get paid regardless. He's done.
All right. Let's transition.
Let's do
Your
it.
team.
Let's do it.
Your guy, talking about a guy that's doesn't seem like he's going to take a pay cut. That's Lamar.
Yeah.
Finally bounces back, gets a win. They're able to hold on to a fourth quarter lead, Harry. Slow cap for him.
23-20, baby. I told you this was going to be an AFC North game. I told you that this was going to be an AFC North game. But truly, I got to jump on you because, dude, I got to tell you something, man. I don't – ladies and gentlemen, I got heartbreaking news to share with the podcast right now. The podcast is probably going to end after this season because I'm going to be joining the Baltimore Ravens as an outside linebacker. The way that team is
you had me for a second.
The way that team is running on the defensive side of the ball, Trilly, I could keep up with those guys, dude. You played with me for 3 years. I am not the fastest guy in the room, but I'm moving as quick as those guys do. I mean, they cannot make a tackle. They break down the defensive line, and then, dude, they're falling to the ground. They can't make a stop. Listen, I'm not going to go on and on about the faults. We know that I can do that. Let's stick with the wins, but that's all I'm going to pick up. I'm sorry I'm going to have to leave Trilly in the dust, but I have to follow my dream of being an outside linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens. Now, this is a huge win, dude.
If you get a couple mil, just
we're throwing it to work. Dude,
we'll be like the next Bussin' with the Boys here, dude. Like
we're in the studio, absolutely.
Yeah.
Dude, this was exactly what I said it would be, and I think that you would totally agree. This was a typical AFC North game, 23-20, low scoring, high defense, quarterbacks under pressure continually throughout the game, kicking utilized tremendously, and it just comes down to the way that who's going to be able to coach who better on the offensive side of the ball. That's always what it comes down to in an AFC North Classic, because the defense is going to bring it either way. But I'll say it, dude. I'm still not out. I don't care. I don't care now that they've fallen to only 2 wins, dude. The Browns are still a legit team, dude. I mean, they are. They're not a joke. They're a real deal team. Even
they need a $250 million quarterback in there.
They need that guy
sitting on the sideline,
sitting on the bench, all guaranteed. By the way, dude. At the end of the day, I don't care what anybody says. Baltimore proved again why they are going to win the AFC North. But every time that halftime strikes and we hit the third quarter, I get nervous, man, because we're leading. We're not that we don't have to come back, but I always got to keep that tight. I'm happy with the win. We go to 4-3, primetime football tomorrow night, Thursday night. We'll get into that later. I'm excited to see it. If this game would have been in Baltimore, I would be there tonight. First time that I would have gotten to see the GOAT, but it's not. It's away. My takeaway is, man, listen, Baltimore did great. I believe they covered. I think that they did. I didn't take.
It was 7. I bet them to cover the 7. They didn't.
Oh, that's right. You did bet them to cover the 7.
Yeah.
Either way, man, it was tight. Love the win. Love the tenacity. Lamar's going to get paid. Lamar deserves to get paid, but he's got to last thing that I'm going to note is past 2 weeks, he's regressed a little bit. He's got to pick it up. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me bounce this off you here.
Go
My
ahead.
thought. The Ravens are a good football team, right? I think they're good. But we were talking earlier how they could be almost an undefeated team. A couple breaks go their way. A one-loss team. I don't see it with this offense. This offense doesn't have any explosiveness to it. They don't have a grounded out, pounded out to them to go along with that defense that has been so bad for you. Yeah. I think you win your division, but I don't see you winning. I don't see you winning a playoff game. If I'm being 100% honest with you, I don't see them going shot for shot with the guys in the AFC that you got over there. In the NFC, yeah, you'd win one. Now we can get into that maybe as the season progresses here, AFC versus NFC, but I don't see them contending with teams like the Chiefs, the Bills, and even the Eagles right now. I mean, what do you, and even the Dolphins?
Dolphins come back. They're I mean, he comes back and he's ready to rock and roll, dude. He went 16.
He looked good.
He looked great. I mean, I knew that they wouldn't cover the 7. We'll get into that later, but dude, I mean, you're right. I can't argue with you, dude. And that is so sad to say, is that my team, we've said it week in and week out, this should be an undefeated team. This should be a 6-1 team. And instead we're 4-3. I mean, Lamar has not, what we're seeing is, we saw it week 3. He wants Bateman to be the guy. And I said it at the beginning, and I was getting a little bit of hope, but I'm turning out to be right. Unfortunately, Bateman's not ready to be the guy. He still isn't. Mark is. Mark's the guy. Dobbins, I don't know what's going on with Dobbins, man.
He's out for the year now, I guess, is what they're saying.
Dobbins,
6 weeks.
If Dobbins is out for the year, he's not going to be a Baltimore Raven at the end of the year. He's done. Drake and Duvernay have been, Duvernay is really trying to solidify himself as a receiver. The biggest thing that I'm seeing that I don't like is that we drafted this year 2 receiving tight ends, Likely and Oliver, and we are only keeping them in the block. And they're not blocking tight ends, dude. I mean, you look at their form compared to Mark Andrews, right? And Mark Andrews is clearly a receiving tight end. Mark Andrews looks like he has a minimum of 30 pounds of muscle on both of those guys. He looks more like a blocking tight end. He looks like a Gronkowski, however you say his last name.
Gronkowski.
Who also was a receiving tight end, but looked like he should be in the block.
They're grown men. These guys aren't grown men yet. Yeah.
And now these 2 guys, I got to agree with you, man. Listen, Lamar's going to get paid. He should get paid. But he is, we don't have right now, because of our unestablished defense, we're seeing the cracks now as we get to the mid part of the season. We're seeing the cracks in the offense. And
this was a good step in the right direction for you, though.
Yes.
You could have lost this game, and you could have been like, all right, they're a good football team on that other side, but it would have been another fourth quarter collapse. But you didn't.
But we didn't.
Baby steps.
Let's move to the team that I should have stuck with both bets that I said. And that's the Giants, dude, on the road to Jacksonville. Originally I said take the Giants +3. Then I liked the under more, took them at 42.5. It covered, obviously, but dude, this Giants squad is going toe to toe every week. And I got to be honest, dude, until they play the Eagles, I don't understand why they're getting points. I just don't, man. I mean, I think that what Vegas is just betting on is what you and I both what you brought up, really. They're waiting for Danny Dimes to poop his pants. They're waiting for him to have the game that he's supposed to have, which is awful. But this defense is legit. This coaching is off the charts. This offensive core behind Saquon can get the job done, dude. I mean, how do you give, to your point last week, how do you give a 5-1 team 3 points? They covered tremendously, dude. What's your takeaway from this in-division rival?
Yeah, I mean, their biggest thing is 101 or 110 rushing yards for Saquon, 24 carries. Daniel Jones was kind of running that Lamar Jackson sprint action towards the end of the game with 107 rushing yards. That's their biggest key. I mean, you only asked Danny Dimes to throw it 30 times. He went 19 for 30, 202 with a touchdown. No picks.
Not bad.
No picks. Like, I mean, but that's not going to
Not
get
great,
it done.
but it's good for Danny.
Yes, it's good for regular season football.
Right.
And you look at the flip side of it there. Jacksonville had so many opportunities to come and win this football game. But Travis Etienne gets the ball punched out when he's like at the 5-yard line.
Right.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence throws a fade to the end zone, gets picked off. Trevor Lawrence is moving down the field, strip sack. It was just the Giants capitalized at the right. They're capitalizing at the right times right now and making they're making the other teams mess up. Yeah. They're not messing up because they're a well-coached football team and they're forcing the turnovers when they need to. They're not doing a whole lot on offense. They're not. Anybody who's going to tell me that they are, that's absolute bullshit. But they're a decent offensive football team that has an identity and that wins regular season football games. That's kind of where I'm at with them. They're going to win regular season football games against these bad football teams, even decent football teams. Who knows what the Packers are at this point? That win might look a little different in a couple weeks. You never know. But they can get the job done as long as what you said, Danny Dimes doesn't poop his pants. Well, that's yet to be seen. And I hope it doesn't. I want the NFC East to be the NFC Beast. It's been such a joke over the past couple of years because of them, because of the Commanders, because of the Eagles.
Because of them.
You know, I mean, the Eagles won last year the division when they were under 500. So it's yet to be seen. Good for them. New York should be excited. That's all I got. I'm trying to be positive.
About that last year too. You were amped about that. You were like, "Hey, what's done is done. We won the division."
Yeah, well, dude. The thing is, right? You saw what the Phillies this year. Just get in. You got that experience. Absolutely. You saw what that experience in the playoffs, even that beatdown that they got put on by Tampa Bay, what it did for the Eagles moving forward into this season. But we'll get to them in a little bit.
All right, let's move to a team that, again, besides the Giants in my book, and I definitely know in yours, you just can't bet against. Another bet that I took that won heavily, Seattle plus 5.5, dude. I mean, they just bring it without a shadow of a doubt on the road to the Chargers, dude. They win 37-23. I mean, dude, as we called him, G-Notes. He can't stop delivering, dude. I mean, not only do they cover, they win tremendously. They make the Chargers look like a joke. Seattle's the real deal, man, without Russell. You lose your franchise quarterback. You're making a run at your division, dude. I mean, this is a team, including myself, that was like, I think, dude, during our first episode, I might have said that they'd win 4 or 6 games. And now they're a team that not only makes you money, but they win.
They're leading the NFC West. They're number 1.
This is crazy.
West. That's insane.
I mean, my biggest takeaway is I'm not going to say it for the Jets, but I'm going to say it for both of these teams. For the Giants and Seattle, they got a little bit of that football magic going on where things are just working out the right way. And beyond that, dude, in contrast to the Giants, Seattle's got a quarterback, dude, that's always willing to work his ass off and to make a point that he should be out on the field. He's always made a point of why he should be on a roster. He's always made a point of, if your guy goes down, I'm the next guy to step up. And dude, right now, dude, he doesn't look like a guy who needs to sit on a bench. He looks like a 17-week quarterback, dude. I mean, he looks insane right now. I get it. Maybe not all of his mechanics are phenomenal, but you couldn't ask for any more from this if you're a Seattle fan.
The way that they run the ball, I mean, you lose. You lost Rashard Penny for the year.
Right.
You bring in Kenneth Walker III, Michigan State alum, guy who killed it his last year in college. Comes in 23 carries, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, as out of a rookie, you only had Geno throw the ball 27 times, 20 for 27. If you can run the football 34 times a game and not turn the ball over, the Giants or them are running the same exact blueprint. Keep it. But the Seahawks, on the other hand, have been putting up points. 37 this week. The week before was 30+ against the Saints. The week before that, they put up 30+ against the Falcons, or vice versa. They're a team that can score. and they're a team that can go and do it. But the only thing is their defense. Their defense stood up and they took it to the Chargers. Like they absolutely took it to them.
They did.
Where Justin Herbert had a 26.8 QBR, threw for 293, but a couple picks, couple fumbles. They weren't able to run the football at all. Eckler only had 31 yards rushing. They were just behind, and they took advantage. What do you think about Justin Herbert on the flip side of that here, Harry?
Yeah.
Where everybody was putting him into that top 5 category of quarterbacks coming into this year. Most hyped, maybe MVP. Underdog, coming in behind the 2 guys in the AFC there.
Yep.
But he has failed to ring that bell. He's had some banged up receivers. Mike Williams went out in this game.
He's been bad.
And he's been banged up too.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think of Herbert there? I mean, it's not like they have the weapons, but they've been getting hurt. He's been hurt. I don't know. They just don't seem. Is the head coach? Is he too aggressive at times? Has been the thing. Now he's regressing and he's kind of peeling it back a little bit. I don't know. They got the talent all over that defense too, but they're just not able to make plays. I don't get it.
The first thing that I'm going to say is I got to take a full timeout. I got to take a full timeout here. We're going to edit this out because the laptop's about to die for some reason. I got to grab the charger, taking a full timeout. Okay.
All right. Harry's got his laptop backed in. It's back, plugged in.
Done.
Timeout's over. We're back. You didn't even notice. Subscribe while we were gone. You better have done that. But Harry, Justin Herbert, what are we thinking? Should have been a top 5 MVP candidate. He's not.
Here's where I'm at, man, with Justin. The thing about it is, again, and this is going to go into a take that I'm going to have later. You're asking a guy who has a ridiculous amount of talent to stand in the shadow of Phillip Rivers and to deliver on a level where he's in a division with all-time greats. I mean, I don't care how Russell's doing right now. You're talking about a guy that now is in your division who went to back-to-back Super Bowls, an absolute phenomenal quarterback. You're talking about Patrick Mahomes, who will go down as one of the top 10 all-time quarterbacks that you're playing against. That's a little bit of a boost that I'm going to give to him. But now what I'm going to lay the pipe on him is that here's where we're at. This kid does not know how to lead right now, and we see this. He doesn't know how to lead. He just can't. He can't take control of the game at all. He doesn't know how that when he gets hit to get back up to even do, I'll say something this simple. You see that Josh Allen, when he gets thrown around too much, even for his liking, he knows how to manipulate a ref. He gets that ref to throw that flag, pay more attention. I saw right in the Baltimore game, dude. Late flag. He thought that he got pulled by a horse collar, and he gets a late flag like 30 seconds after he's on the ground. Justin Herbert doesn't do that. He doesn't deliver on the ways that a quarterback needs to. And I'm not talking about cheating. I'm not talking about moving the system. I'm talking about knowing how to command the game through your way. He can't do that right now, man. When he gets hit, he gets back in the snap, and you can tell he does not look confident if he's going to do an X-nay on a play and make a change right there on the line when they've already broken the huddle. He doesn't like the read. He doesn't like what he's seeing from the defense. You can see that he doesn't know how to make that change. And then through that, I don't think his coaching staff is supporting him enough, dude. I don't think, or he's not supporting them enough. I mean, you look at a guy like Flores, right? He's a little bit of an odd duck. Nobody would deny that. But you can tell that he and his quarterback are on the same page. I don't get that with the Chargers, dude. I feel like that every time they go to the Chargers sideline, it's just a look of disappointment. And that's never good to see, dude, especially with this kid who could be so great. Justin's nowhere near the top 5, in my opinion. I really don't think so. I think he's breaking, maybe 9 or 8. But, dude, like right now, I got to be honest, dude. Do I think that he's a better quarterback than Derek Carr right now? No, I don't. I think that Kirk Cousins right now is better than both of them. And I never thought that I would be saying that week 8. That Kirk Cousins, the Vikings quarterback's better than Justin Herbert? No. But Kirk Cousins looks so comfortable at what he's producing. Those are my thoughts, dude. I don't think that he's there. Do I think he can get there? Yes. But listen, man, if he keeps having the trouble that he's having, dude, if the Broncos somehow are able to build around this defense, dude, who's to say? that the Chargers don't come last in this division. You can't say that's not in deck.
I mean, it'll be tough to the Broncos to catch them the way they're looking right now, but I don't hate that. I think that's a clip right there. Honestly, there was a lot of good stuff. I want that top 5 QB rankings before we move into this next game here, because I think the next game we're going to cover might shake up the QB ranks here. The Harry Heaps QB ranks. Give it to me.
The Harry Heaps QB ranks. Listen, I got to
go 5 and up. Go 5 up because
5 and up. Okay, 5 and up. R.I.P. He's dropped to 5. I got to give it to Ocho Lamar. Lamar's at 5. He's not producing the way that he needs to, but he's still a top 5 quarterback. Drum roll, please. Making it to the 4th spot, a quarterback who's not touched it before. Tua. Tua's back. He's back, baby. He's back. It doesn't matter. He covered for me, led his team to a win. He's good, dude. He's back. Tua's back. Number 3 hasn't played yet this week, but there's without a shadow of a doubt, that's Jalen Hurts. Come on. So it's the only undefeated team in football, the Eagles. He's the leader of this team.
Jalen slipped down a notch. He was sitting at 2 all year.
Well, that's because you got to wait to hear who's at 1. I got to give 2 to Josh Allen. He's a workhorse. He's got to have it. And now, the new number 1 quarterback in the National Football League is Fat Boy Double Patty Cheeseburger Patty Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes beats a Super Bowl ready roster this past week. We haven't even touched on the game yet. Chiefs versus 49ers on the road, dude. Proving once again why he is the wizard. He's better than Josh Allen. Don't believe the hype. This is the guy.
I don't hate your list there. I'm a little hurt Jalen slid, even though he didn't get a play. I think it's a little recency bias because those 2 guys that fell from the top 1 and 2 didn't play last week.
So let's put both Josh and Hurts at 2.5. No commitment.
All right. Now let's get into that Patty Mahomes game because I do agree with you. The guy's legit. 43 points on a defense that was supposed to be all world. They've been figuring it out. They've been a little banged up the past couple of weeks, but it's still well-coached team with D'Amico Ryans. Yep. They got guys all over the place. Joey Bosa's been one of the top, or Nick Bosa has been one of the top defensive ends in the league, and they went all over them. They were running the ball with Mecole Hardman. They're throwing it to him. Kelsey's open all over the place. Yep. It was ridiculous the way Mahomes can just go, yep, bang, yep, bang, yep,
it doesn't
bang.
even matter, dude.
It doesn't. I mean,
crazy.
We haven't even gotten a chance to see what, on the flip side of it, the big trade that happened, McCaffrey was kind of eased his way in. Debo, Kittle, their offense was kind of meh. It was close a little bit for a little, but the gas pedal was just different. The way they could push the ball down the field, grind you out. And that on the flip side of it, they want to run the ball. They want to move it methodically down the field, the 49ers do. And you just can't keep up with the pace that Patty Mahomes can score doing it that way. I mean, it was a very impressive game for the Chiefs. It was one of those games that they needed. That, they've been kind of middling, against the Bills. You weren't really able to score because that was a good, hard-fought battle. But to show that you can flip it like that, that's the Chiefs that everybody knows for the past couple of years.
Without a doubt, let's break down some stats here. Both quarterbacks had interceptions on the day. Patrick Mahomes went 25 for 34, dude, with 423 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. And his average yardage on a pass was a first down, 12.4 yards. Listen, man, I was hot. I was hot with taking the Niners here as a dog at +2.5. And we saw that for first quarter, dude. The Niners had their foot on the gas pedal. I mean, out of nowhere, it was 14. It was 14-3 or something, or
14-13.
14, yeah. And before that,
halftime.
Right at half. But before that, it was 14-3 when we're going on. We're moving through this game, and then something clicked with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. And the thing is, dude, no, they don't have the name brand recognition besides on the line that the Bills do defensively or that the Eagles do defensively. But dude, this KC defense is legit. They play game in and game out. I mean, they're all over the ball, dude. And listen, you know me, I'm a huge Jimmy G fan. I hate saying that. This is a guy who
dropped out of the list.
He dropped out of the list. 5. He was 5. He let Tua take his spot. And because of him, Patty gets projected to 1. But dude, this KC, I mean, There's something about Kansas City where I am seeing the way that they looked the year that they won the Super Bowl. They're just crazy right now, dude. I don't care what people say about the Chiefs, dude. This right now is my team coming out of the AFC. If the playoffs were today and Bills are the 1 seed and KC's the 2, and it's in Buffalo and it's cold, I'm still taking the Chiefs, dude. They're crazy. I mean, dude, we're talking about there is no shadow of a doubt that the two teams I think that we can both agree on that on paper are the most Super Bowl ready rosters are the Bills and the San Francisco 49ers currently. And the Chiefs just beat them. Did you think with the names going into this season that the Eagles would be in that conference? Okay.
Yeah.
But nobody else would say that, Trilly. Nobody.
Look at the names on this team, bro.
Okay, break them down. Go ahead. No, don't break them down. The point just being, with the 90 seconds I got left, dude, is
Super Bowl. Nah, next that. They were going to win the Super Bowl. I'll agree with you on that.
Okay. So my point just being is that Patrick, the label is just Patrick's crazy right now, dude. He's on a different level. He wants to show people, don't forget about me.
Yeah. I mean, I think their defense is legit with Jones, Clark, Dunlap. Gay and Bolton, Thornhill, Reed. I mean, just guys flying around. They don't have the big names that they had with the Honey Badger out there anymore. Cornerbacks, they've kind of let guys go. They're getting it done. And that's what makes it scary. I think on the flip side, the Bills literally just went to Kansas City at Kansas City and beat them. So I don't think you can put them over the Bills yet. Especially if you're going to say that they're going to go to the Bills and beat them at home in the cold. I'm not.
It was tight.
I'm not with that. The Bills just went to Kansas City and beat them, and you're going to say that the Kansas City will go and beat the Bills?
I'm picking the team that's got the ring and that's got the history. That's all I'm saying.
I don't disagree with that part of it, but come on.
Close us. We got.
I think your biggest thing is seeing the teams play where it was a week. It was a week last week where there was a bunch of your best NFL teams weren't playing, and that's the Buffalo Bills, Philadelphia Eagles, and the talent, the defending Super Bowl champs, the Rams. They didn't play either. A lot of talent didn't play, and now we're gonna get back into it because
how many?
God damn it, we're broke. We need to just drop the ball.
We need the subs.
Well, I mean, we need the subs, and then we'll be able to purchase that Zoom premium. Right. So we don't have to get interrupted mid. I was transitioning us beautifully into this upcoming week, and then we get cut off short. But what I was saying is there's teams didn't get to play last week. Yeah. Probably a lot of things that people get put back of their mind, and now we're back, baby. The undefeated, the 6-0, the one-time Super Bowl champ, Philadelphia Eagles are back. 1 o'clock afternoon against the in-state rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who suck. Now, I'm not a big, Pittsburgh stinks, blah, blah, blah. I don't really care. They're AFC. The only team I really hate out at Pittsburgh, the Pirates have always sucked. The only team I really hate is the Penguins, because the Penguins always kick the Flyers' ass. And when it was good when the Flyers would kick their ass. But that being said, I don't care about the Steelers. But the Eagles are coming in, off a bye, 6-0. They're up, favored 11 points now over the Steelers, who got a good win the other week against Tampa. But who knows what's going on with them? They're a team that just looks like they don't have an identity. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know who the quarterback is. And when you're putting in a young guy against this defense of line that just got even better, when you had guys like Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis, Hassan Reddick, Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, Hassan Ridgeway, Javon Hargrave. You got guys all over that defensive line. And then you add an all-pro, 3 or 4 time Pro Bowler, 18.5 sacks last year for the Chicago Bears, all-pro Robert Quinn onto that defensive line, who's not even going to start for you, just a rotational guy on a team that's gotten 14 turnovers already, Harry, through 6 weeks. A lot of those are strip sack fumbles on the quarterback. It's insane.
What it's all about.
The defense is flying all over the place. You add even more pass rush. We were talking before this. You can never have enough pass rush. And that's what this Eagles, and I hate the son of a bitch. but I love him at the same time. And that little weasel, Howie Roseman, he did it again. He goes and he gets them for a 4th-round pick, and he gets them to pay the Bears to pay his salary for the rest of the season. So we're not even paying him. We're not even paying him. And then the rest of his contract for the next 2 years isn't guaranteed, so you can cut ties with him if it doesn't work out, or you can, what Howie loves to do, he loves to work that cap. He loves to restructure contracts, and he can make it happen. So, big week for the Eagles. Howie hates the Eagles not being number one talked about in Philadelphia, but the Phillies are red hot. The Union didn't even talk about them. Flyers are doing well. Sixers suck. But Howie knew he had to do something because going on a bye week, he probably hated that. It made his skin crawl that the Eagles weren't being talked about at 6-0. They're undefeated, but the Phillies going to the World Series are going to top that right now. And Howie comes back and he's putting his name back into the conversation. I mean, it's a great time to be a Philly sports fan, and the Eagles are going to come out and absolutely mollywop the Pittsburgh Steelers this week. Go ahead, Harry.
All right. I don't know what kind of rap I can bring to it because that was a lot of energy, so God bless it. What I'll say is this, dude. The Eagles are proven week and week and week and week and week out that they are a team. The city of Philadelphia has magic over it right now, man. There's just no question about it. There's something that's going on in the city of Philadelphia. It hasn't touched the Sixers yet, but it may.
It will.
That is bringing these teams confidence, awareness, wins, a fan base that will ride or die no matter what. And the Eagles are fully into that, man. At the end of the day, what I think that we're seeing right now about Jalen Hurts specifically is that this kid, there's a reason why he played at the University of Alabama. There's a reason why he played under the greatest college coach of all time. And there's a reason why he is going to become a franchise quarterback and get a franchise contract. Now, I will tell you, I'm going to throw out something real quick. I know we're talking way too deep. Season's not even over yet, but the season ended today. The question is, are you paying him 2 years early, or are you going to wait one more year?
Yeah, it seems like they're going to give him a contract after this year, I think, unless something horribly goes wrong. Yeah.
I do too, because the new standard now is not just 1 year in advance, 2 years in advance. And
we don't want to be the Ravens. We don't want to have to franchise tag.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't. Now, it can burn you because you see it happen with Dak, because Dak was that new standard. You got paid 2 years early, but Hurts isn't Dak. Hurts is the man. So where I'm going to leave it at is, dude, Philly is a team right now that I have a very hard time betting against. I have a hard time betting against them, just in general, because you're my boy, and I don't want to fade you like that or fade the city of Philadelphia because I love the city of Philadelphia. But that, dude, if you don't mind, I kind of feel like that's the perfect transition into our bets, because we got to talk about this Pittsburgh Eagles game.
Yeah.
So when we look at this, dude, I mean, the first thing I'm going to say, you and I brought this up. You know how much I hate big lines. You know that. That sounded like a drug reference, but the point being is that they're both hated by me. We're not talking about drugs. We're talking about the line.
Why'd you bring it up, dude? Are you doing drugs?
Which is I can name some names. Which is Pittsburgh Steelers plus 10.5, Eagles minus 10.5. I mean, dude, the only takeaway that I can say from it is the Eagles have proven that you guys can get takeaways. And last week, Kenny Pickett threw 3 interceptions. So Vegas has got to be thinking, listen, this guy is just going to he's going to get benched because he's going to throw so many interceptions. But that is a massive line to give any team. I couldn't believe when the Bills got 14 points. They covered. I get it. They covered by a ton. But stuff like that always worries me. This is not a game that I don't want to get into the bet because it's not one of my bets. But what my takeaway is this: do I believe the Eagles will win? 100% that I do. Do I believe that there could be a pick six in this game? I don't know. I believe that there could be a fumble forced and a touchdown created by Philly. I think that they're going to be ready to go. I think that they win by a touchdown, but 10 points is a lot of points, and that's where I'll leave it.
I do agree with that, and that's why I'm going to take the under instead of touching the points. I see this a lot being like that Bills-Steelers game,
right?
Where I think Vegas sees it a lot like that, which I like, which I love. that
Right.
Vegas is kind of giving the Eagles the same love that they are giving to the Buffalo Bills, at least somewhat similar. Like I could have, if you would have told me 7.5 for the Eagles, like win by a touchdown, I'd have been like, sounds about right. But 10.5, that's a lot. That's a lot. And that's only what good dominant teams get, because that's respect. That's respect from the betting market. That's respect from everybody. And my biggest concern is coming out slow off a bye. But with that being said, the Eagles are the best second quarter team in the league. I can see them come out and just absolutely dominate, maybe even shut out the Steelers. So under 43.5 points, I absolutely love it. I think the Eagles can score 30 by themselves, and maybe they give up 10, and you still got 4 points to go. So I maybe give up 10. That's maybe. So I like the under in this game. I hate unders. I hate betting unders, especially with my team. But I'm going to take the under in that game because of how dominant this defense is and can be moving forward. Just adding depth. It's exciting. With the back end, too, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Darius Slay, James Bradbury, the best secondary in the league. We got guys flying all over the place with the linebackers. And Nakobe Dean hasn't even played, dude.
Tremendous, right. Dude.
What's your favorite under for the week, Harry? What do you got? You're the unders king.
I'm the unders king.
You are the guy. They always hit for you. That's how we're making you money. That's how you're hitting at the 76% clip. You hit those unders. Give us this lock here. Well, not lock yet, but
not a lot. Yeah, we're not to the HTL yet. What my favorite under is, we're not at underdogs yet. We're talking about unders here, ladies and gentlemen. There's a difference, okay? And you got to keep up with it. And I'm going to say it, Trilly. I mean, I think a lot of people are going to say that it's going the other way, but I'm going to pick it. My favorite under right now, Vegas on the road to the Saints, at 49.5, dude. That's a lot of points for these two teams to score, man.
Especially Raiders, with how close the spread is too at 1.5. It's pretty much a pick 'em. That's a lot of points for.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And these teams aren't good. Like let's get something clear here. Like I understand that bad teams usually do score a lot, but these teams don't look like they know how to score, especially the Raiders. They have underutilized Devontae Adams. Derek Carr has, without a doubt, digressed. Waller is injury-prone king right now.
He's been banged up.
Their run game is not significant whatsoever. And the Saints, with Hill, I mean, he's always in the conversation, but I feel like this is going to be a smash mouth football game, dude. I mean, I feel like that people are going to just be betting, either Vegas -1.5 or the Saints +1.5. But dude, I don't like that. I think that the points here are way too high. I'm taking the under Vegas, New Orleans.
Yeah, I agree with you, especially with the quarterback situation for the Saints. Is it going to be Jameis? Is it going to be Andy? I don't know. Olave has been great. Maybe a possible rookie of the year candidate, offensive rookie of the year.
Absolutely.
They're finally getting the ball back in Alvin Kamara's hands, thankfully, for my fantasy football teams. But their defense isn't what it used to be.
No, absolutely not.
But this Raiders team, what you said, isn't what it should be. So I can see where the points are coming from. I think both of these teams could possibly score. But on the flip side of it, the quarterback situations, the weapon situations are too unreliable that I think that is a lot at 50. So I like the pick.
That's what I do, man. That's what I do. I deliver. All right, let me hit you with a game here. I'm going to hit you with an underdog. And I want to get your take on this. The dog. And in all honesty, man, I can't believe they're a dog. We're talking primetime football here. We're talking the day this episode comes out. We're talking Thursday night football. That's Baltimore plus a point and a half.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Tampa.
Yeah.
Plus a point. I mean, you got to take that.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me, now the only thing that worries me is, what did I just say? You got to take that, which usually when you got to take that means something bad is down the drain. But I don't care, dude. This is my team. I'm riding with them. I got to take a point and a half here. Baltimore is a significantly better team than Tampa. even if Tom was playing well right now, Baltimore's still the better team. Not defensively, but offensively they are. We just have better talent, in my opinion. On top of that, I can understand the opposite side of the argument. I get Tom just came off of an insane loss, but I'm going to be honest with you, dude. I think that Tom's entering in a hole right now that I don't know that he can dig himself out of right now, dude. And I don't think that it starts with that home against Baltimore City, a team coming off a snot-nosed type game that they just won in the AFC North, dude. Baltimore's fighting here to be in contention. They think that the Bengals are on their heels. They want to make a statement. Tampa's trying to figure out just they don't even know what's going on. They don't know where to start in fixing their problems. I'm taking Baltimore plus 1.5.
Yeah. No, I agree with the sentiment about the Bengals because the Bengals have kind of found something. We forgot to talk about them where that offense is clicking now. They're getting the ball into Jamar Chase's hands. And then they're moving it accordingly after that. Getting into the superstar and they're moving. That team is slow start, but they're coming. Yep. If the Ravens want to be contenders, if they want to win this division, you got to go on the road and you got to win this football game against Tampa Bay. A team that has been looking for a get-right game, you can't let it happen. They've lost to the Carolina Panthers, who is trading everybody, fired the coach, and it's not like they lost in a close one. They got their ass kicked, dude.
Yep.
20-plus points. They only scored 3. That can't happen. That kind of scares me with Tom Brady on a short week, pissed off, but he's had those opportunities the past couple weeks to prove that he could go and be the old Tom Brady and show that X factor, that meanness, that toughness, that I'm the GOAT, and he hasn't done it. This Ravens team has to win this football game. They have to.
They have to.
It's not a must win, but it's a gotta win. Because this Tampa Bay team is #due, but you can't let them be due. You can't.
Nope.
All right. Let's transition now a little bit. I'm going to go with my underdog of the week. All right. My underdog, it's I've been flip-flopping between 2 teams. One team that surprising. Franchise has been absolutely terrible on both of these teams, actually. But I'm going to settle on the Washington Commanders +3 against the Colts. Them catching 3 points against Sam Ehlinger coming in at quarterback. Who knows what he's going to bring? This is Sam Ellinger's first start, and he's getting points. The guy is a favorite in a football game for his first start. I don't think the Colts have that much talent around him that moving Matt Ryan in for Sam Ehlinger is that much of a difference. This Commanders team showed that they could go to Green Bay, Lambeau, and win with Taylor Heineke at quarterback. He's got that it factor, and he can go and do it. Now, I paused for a second there because I thought, well, maybe he'll have one of those bad games. But the only way that happens is if they run the football with Jonathan Taylor.
Absolutely.
But I see this defense finally getting healthy for the Commanders. Chase Young's finally coming back a little bit healthier. That D-line with Allen and the other boys from Bama, they're finally getting back healthy. They're not going to be able to run the football. Heineke, I'll take the 3 points all day long. I don't see either of these teams really scoring, offensives being too explosive. But if somebody's going to make a big play, I'm taking Taylor Heineke. I'm taking the Commanders +3.
I love it, man. Listen, I wasn't liking it at first, but you kind of convinced me, man. I mean, you're right. This kid's getting his first start and they're getting points. There's something wrong there. And on top of that, dude, the Commanders, when Heineke starts, dude, they're feeling themselves. They just beat the back-to-back MVP. I like it, man.
It's a different vibe when he's in there.
It absolutely is. Let me hit you with my next underdog. I hit you with my favorite under in points. Then I hit you with my favorite underdog. And man, I think this is the hardest game of week 8 to call of what you're going to do. But listen, they haven't failed me. I think that they're a real deal team to bet. I think that they deliver week in, week out. They're re-energizing their team. They're on the road, but they're also against a team, dude, that's been making me money. So now I'm betting on one or the other. I might kill 2 birds with one stone in not a good way. I'm taking the New York Giants +3 on the road to Seattle. I don't know that the Giants can win this game, especially because it's on the road. And Seattle is known as what? The city of the 12th man.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, they still keep this game close. I don't know. Seattle's not going against the defense that they just faced against the Chargers. They're going against a real deal defense. I mean, that's the truth. The Giants are a real deal defense, and they're a real deal coaching system defensively. They got the man. What did I call him last week? The
Papa
Drip
Chain.
King,
Yeah, Papa.
Donnie Winks. I'm taking it, dude. New York Giants +3. I think they cover 100%.
All right, I'm moving into my my favorite of the week. Actually, let's go the overs first because I looked at this one over right here, and this is an ugly. Hold your nose. Just kind of maybe you're hoping you see it on the red zone just for touchdowns,
I think we got
and
the same
that's
game.
41.5 Carolina Panthers. Atlanta
Oh my
Falcons.
God. That is 3 weeks in a row, dude. We've had the same bet.
Game over. Yeah, we love the
Over.
Yeah, we've hit. We're 2 for 2 hitting these overs when we're both actually absolutely loving them. I think both these teams, they don't have defenses. And they got weapons that can score. Chuba Hubbard, Devontae Foreman can run the football. You still got DJ Moore there. PJ Walker, shout out T for Temple U University. Fight for the cherry and the white at quarterback there. He can still sling it. I mean, it's not like the Falcons are going to stuff him on defense at all. They haven't proved that they can stuff anybody all year. I think they can get you a touchdown or two. And the Falcons have proved that they can do it too. They got guys all over the place there, just kind of figuring it out. That we've been talking about that old Titan. Rough week last week, still was able to put up points. So I'm banking on the defenses being terrible. See a couple touchdowns on red zone and feel comfortable that this will be like a 24-30 football game that you're just like, oh, that was gross. These teams suck. This game didn't mean anything, but we like points. That's kind of where I'm at there. I love that.
Listen, man, I love that for the third week in a row, we started with Cincy, then Green Bay, now this. I love that we've got a third bet that we're both taking that we feel confident in, but I got a little bit of a different take that I got to share quickly. I said it 2 weeks ago. I believe that when a home dog, even a bad team, is at home, I always believe that they can score 10. Now, the difference is that this game isn't in Carolina. This game is in Atlanta. I don't think that Carolina scores here, but I think Atlanta goes big time. I think that this is Atlanta's prime time scoring game, man. I think that Carolina maybe puts up 3. I think they overshot themselves putting 21 up against the Bucs. I think Atlanta goes crazy here, dude. I love this pick at 41.5. I think that Atlanta's going to score easy 30. They'll make some mistakes. Carolina will make up some points. Either way, Atlanta's going to score big. I think that they're going to take it home as well. Book it, take it. That's our over. We're moving to our HDL, man. Or no, what am I saying? We still got to do our fave.
Yeah.
Our fave.
By the way,
I got my favorite figured out. Yes.
Yeah, you go for it. I got mine too, actually, now that I look at it.
Well, listen. It could have been if I would have made it my lock. Now, this is where I got to take a minute again. What do you know the quote is? Said it once, I'll say it again. Brown bag cash. Brown bag cash. Last week, I took Miami. What? -7? -6.5? No, I took a -5.5. And what did they cover? The 5.5. That's what I delivered. Thank God it wasn't my lock, or I would have reached my ceiling. I got to stick with Miami here. I'm taking a -4.5, dude. I feel confident in this team. Tua now is in the top 5 conversation for me. He's top 5 quarterback. I have him as 4th right now. He's on the road to Detroit. It's not outdoors. He's in a dome. I think they cover the points. Detroit, I always want to believe in them, but they've fallen off a cliff, dude. Miami wins this game.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. I like it a lot. Well, what was the number you said you wanted?
-3.5.
3.5.
Okay. That's what the line is at right now.
Wow, that's it. Especially how bad Detroit's been, dude. Like, St. Brown went out again last week. He's killing me. Absolutely killing me. Swift is probably coming back. I saw maybe. They just haven't been able to muster up those points that they were just coming out firing with to start the year. This Miami team is different. They can score. Tua's back. They can get the ball to Tyreek. They can get it to Waddle. They can run the football a little bit with Mostert. I like it. I like that. I like Miami. I like it a lot. Now, my favorite is one of those lines that you're like, why is it so small? Like,
Right.
Why? And that's 2.5. Titans are favored over the Houston Texans.
Very interesting. Yes.
I think they can definitely win by a field goal. They should win this football game. This is kind of a fade myself pick because I've been riding Houston. I think I like Dameon Pierce, the running back. I like Brandon Cooks, but their defense is terrible. They're giving up 30, 25 plus 30 points a game. They can't stop anybody. Their team cannot come back from behind when they're giving up that many points. And this Titans team is a ground them out, run the football with Derrick Henry. And if they get up 21 points, they're just going to run the clock down. And that's all she wrote. They're not going to have any time. Mills Mafia will throw a pick when it comes to crunch time, if it even gets to be that close. I like the Titans -2.5 there. I think that's too close. I think they should be catching close 6, 5.5, 6, honestly.
I'm not even going to add anything more, dude, because you gave all the points. If that would have been my pick, all the points that you made would have been mine too. I think that you're right. I think the line is way too small, and that's why I think that you got to take it. Because what I think a lot of people are going to do is they're going to say when they see that, oh, you got to take Houston.
You got to take Houston. Yeah,
and they're going to get burnt. All right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you come here for. I'm Harry Heaps, co-hosted with Brennan Petrilli. We're here to deliver you our HCLs. Trilly, I'm at 85% on the year on my locks, dude. Where are you at right now?
Well, we're both at 85. We've only missed one.
Both at 85. We're
both
both
of us have only missed one.
We don't stop. When we tell you to bet the HCL, what happens? We don't stop. What's that quote by DJ Khaled? Oh yeah, all I do is win.
Another one.
I'm going to start with my HCL. Man, I might be fading myself, and I hate saying that out loud, but I got to stick with them, man, because I can't believe that they're catching points here. I think that this might be the craziest. This might be the craziest line of a team catching points, and that's the Jets at home catching 2.5. I mean,
they were the other underdog I was looking at when I was going between them and the commies. So yeah.
Again, they're catching 2.5. I mean, you don't know what's going on in New England. Is it Zappy Zap? Is it Mackie Jones, mac and cheese,
McCorkle,
whatever you want to call him? Is it Billy
That's his actual name.
Billy Belichick? My favorite thing about watching a New England game is I've said it once, I'll say it again. Matt Patricia with his pen in his hat. And Matt Patricia can't perform, dude, against a team like the Jets right now. Do I think that this is going to be a high-scoring game? No, I don't. I really don't. I think that 40.5 is very low. But I'm taking the Jets +2.5. That's where I'm at with my lock.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. The quarterback situation, you saw how much that affected them on Monday Night Football.
Yes.
That was huge. Going back and forth for New England fans, Boston fans to steep so low to booing. I thought you don't boo players. Yeah, you scumbags. You're just scummy as the rest of us, all right?
They suck.
Like, come on now. That's embarrassing. You guys had Max back, I thought. Max the guy. Oh, because Zappy comes in and gets you a touchdown, and then he sucks, too. Yeah, now my biggest thing is I don't love the Jets against Billy Belichick.
Against Billy Bell.
But
this is the Jet squad, though, dude.
I agree with that. That's what I was about to say. It's a different Jet squad. They got the offense. They got the defense is the biggest thing. That either quarterback's in there, they can go and they can dominate that quarterback. So I like that pick. I like that lock. We're locked and loaded here at the Cold One Conversations. We've only missed 1 week with our locks here. And my lock, I'm going to take another team that I took a couple weeks ago. It hit. And I like the Minnesota Vikings -3.5 over the Cardinals.
Can I tell you something? You got to love me because I almost took that, but I knew you wanted it, so I didn't. Keep going.
Yeah, that's what happens. The chemistry here. we're making money. We know what we like. We know the picks that it's going to make you money. 3.5. I think the Cardinals stink. You get DeAndre Hopkins back, but the rest of that team is kind of JJ Watt just had a kid. Take him to get a sack. I love after the guy has a kid, have a nice game. Take him to get a sack. But other than that, nothing's good happening there. Nobody can cover Justin Jefferson. Nobody can stop Dalvin Cook on that team. They're going to run it up on him. I love it. I'd take them at 7, honestly. They're going to win by a touchdown here because Call of Duty's coming out next week. It's almost my birthday week, so I know Call of Duty's right around the corner.
God bless.
Kyler Murray's getting the sticks ready. He's getting the thumbs ready. It's going to be awful. Take them. Kirk Cousins, non-primetime games is electric. The guy throws the ball all over the field. 3.5. Love that lock. Minnesota Vikings. Shout out Randall. All right.
That's our locks, man. You've been listening to Week 8.
Whoa, we got to put the parlay together. We got to put the parlay.
What am I saying, dude?
The parlay hit once. I'm sorry it missed last week.
It's 1-1.
Yeah. Well, it's 1-4. But
you don't fact check.
We're plus units though, because that hit was a big one. That was a big one. We just missed last week. It hurt that those Green Bay Packers fucked us. Fuck them. That's why we started off talking about them. But let's piece this together here, Harold. Let's I'm gonna put the Buffalo Bills Green Bay Packers over 47.5 in the parlay. What do you think about that? I think Buffalo's going to score 30 plus.
And you're guaranteed. So basically, what you're saying is you're guaranteeing that Aaron's going to be able to at least put you in position to score field goal.
They're going to get 2 touchdowns, I think.
Yeah, man, I like it. I think that, if Aaron said it, this is the time for us to prove ourselves. We're going up. It's prime time. We're going up to Buffalo. No, Aaron, this is time for you to prove yourself. Are you washed? Are you washed? Because the young gunslinger in Josh Allen is ready to rock and roll. Can you keep up? Perform, baby. I like it.
Exactly.
I love that as our first one.
Keep going. I'm gonna put Minnesota in there. My lock in with that parlay.
Okay. You always love doing the lock. Now, we're gonna keep it original. Last week, we've always kept it original. We're doing 4 teams. I know it looked like 5, but I was just reiterating that we were both taking it. We're doing 4 teams here. Trilly, I'm gonna throw a team in that I threw in last week that delivered on the parlay. And who was that? That was my Baltimore Ravens, the 2-time champs. I'm keeping that same bet that I had for my pick, Baltimore plus 1.5. I like it.
All right, so you got to get the bet in today. Everybody.
Get the bet in today.
The HTP has got to be in today, Thursday, when you're listening to this. Bright and early. Have notifications out. They come out 7 a.m. every Thursday or Friday. Gonna be Thursday today. We're always trying to get Thursday.
I'm trying to think of that though, because does that fade us? We've never taken a Thursday night game in the parlay.
Yeah. I like the pick though.
I do like the pick too, but it's done. No, I don't believe in it. It's out. It's out. I'm going with
that would hurt to lose on Thursday night. The parlay.
That would that would lose to I can't.
But it's not. The Ravens are going to win that. Come on.
The Ravens are going to win that, and they're going to cover. But we've never done that before. We can't do it now. In all honesty, man, I can't believe I'm saying it. I'm doing the over. I think that it's a crazy low number. I'm doing the over 39.5 Denver Broncos at Jacksonville.
Wow. Okay. Why? Tell me why. Talk me into it.
Here's where we're at. Denver's clearly got an insane defense. We know this, but Trevor Lawrence has got to step up now. He was looking great, and now he's falling off the cliff again. He's got a hot seat under him where he knows that he needs to deliver. On top of that, dude, I'm not sure here whether Jacksonville's defense is the real deal. Mm-hmm. I think whoever is at the playbook, whether it be Russ or backup, can score against this defense. Mm-hmm. Do I think that could happen against the Jets? No, I don't, because as we both mentioned, this Jet squad is different. This defense is different, but that's not Jacksonville's defense. Jacksonville's defense is a bunch of no-namers who, used to have Jalen Ramsey. I think that the Broncos here, with the talent that they have, can score. And I think that's a very low number to take. Okay. I'm taking Denver and Jacksonville over 39.5.
Okay.
And the next game, The next game, I can't believe that I'm throwing this in there, but man, I think it's stupid that it's only a point and a half. I'm taking, even though they lost me last week, I'm taking San Francisco -1.5.
Okay.
I mean,
Against the Rams?
Against the Rams. I mean, that they're not getting -4
Yeah.
is incredible to me. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
another week with that offense developing together. Yeah.
And another dude, this is going to be the second week where the defense is again at full strength. And again, when we talk about a guy like Taylor Heineke, a guy like Jimmy G, the teams play different. They're ready to rock and roll. The Rams aren't there. I don't like them. San Fran -1.5.
Sorry for the distraction. I'm trying to log into the sports book, but it's saying face not recognized because of the new sexy glasses.
Yeah, I'll put it here. Are you in or what?
What? See, look, it's saying face not recognized. Like, what the fuck?
Dude, they can't believe how freaking phenomenal you are.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's because of you guys, the subscribers,
That's
us
right.
giving you the picks. I'm able to buy the glasses. I need them. It's always rough looking at the ticker at the bottom, looking at the scores, the time on the game. It was rough. Now we got the glasses. We're comfy, ready to rock and roll. I like the pick. So
how bad's the eyesight, by the way? What do they got you listed at?
I have no idea, dude. It used to say on the inside of these bad boys, but my left eye is a lot worse than the other one.
Why is that? I don't remember you taking a shot in a game.
Yeah. I think it says 55-18. I think that's what it says.
What? 55-18?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Oh, that means it's bad, dude.
Oh. I don't think it's that bad. 55 left, 18 right.
That means that you are seeing double half the time.
No. Maybe there's another one in there. All right, whatever.
The odds. Fuck the glasses.
Yeah, the odds. The odds are for the 15. All right, that's the unit. That's what we always are going. That's minimum wage. Plus 12.35. So another 185 payday on it. It's a good one. It's locked and loaded there. You got Minnesota 3.5 -3.5 over 47.5. Green Bay Bills over 39.5. Denver, Jacksonville, and then -1.5 San Fran over the Rams. I like it.
Win 185.
Win 185. 15 wins or 185. I love it. Absolutely love it. I hope you guys loved it too. Hope you loved this episode. If you did, click the subscribe button, put the bell on, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, all that jazz on social media at Brendan Petrilli, at Harry Heaps. I mean, we're rocking and rolling. We need to make a Cold One Conversations one too, because I know a lot of people are getting pissed off at me for posting all my reels on my main account. I know all the girls they're not in favor of it, but I might just cut that out. That was dumb. I don't know.
Yeah, we got to cut that out. Cut that out.
That was bad. All right. Shout out to the 215. Go Birds. We're making you money here. Let's go.
See everybody. Go Ravens.
I'm keeping that in.
Okay.